Hi Alex, here we are. Some activity in the vine fruits. I've heard that there's some further reports of frost damage in the area around Izmir, I guess.
Manisa,
yeah.
Manisa, and there's been some hail damage. That's what they're saying.
Hail damage, okay.
Yeah.
The bourse was pretty much seized up, and I guess in those kinds of situations, well, you've been looking at the bourse website, and it shows very few transactions.
Yeah.
This is also, I guess, one of the quietest times in the year.
Yeah.
And the transaction can fail to happen because the buyers aren't interested at these prices, or it can fail to happen because farmers don't bring their goods to the bourse to sell. I mean, it's getting late in the season anyway, but this end game position is one that the growers have played to their advantage before.
Yeah.
I guess the exporters need to start getting sales onto their books so their factories are full, so they can develop a bit of momentum. Buyers, on the other hand, are probably going on holiday.
Yeah, I mean, so nothing's being traded in the bourse. There's a general election for the Turkish government at the moment. So, sort of domestically, eyes are on that rather than on sales, I think. And I think that's another reason why farmers aren't bringing material to the bourse, is because they're waiting to see whether it's going to be an agriculturally friendly government, or maybe a divided Kurdish government,
right.
and the likes. But the demand is flat, and exporters who do have stock in store are offering it at a discount to what the bourse, the last bourse prices that I've seen are selling at. So
Right, okay.
I think it's like you say, they're trying to keep the factory going
Undercutting the bourse price
with what they have unsold.
What they haven't, so they're discounting replacement.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite interesting, because that was exactly the
Problem that they got into last time.
Yeah, that's right.
oversold,
Because if you like, the growers hit the exporters for going short on them, really.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing they love to do. But so yeah, maybe some serious. I mean, this is a big volume product, and how are Californian raisins and South African raisins? How are they priced?
Well, the South African market for raisins they have a lot of Thompsons this year. They're very keen sellers. Still more expensive than. Sorry, no, they're not more expensive now. They're probably cheaper than genuine Turkish raisins. And they're definitely cheaper than USA raisins, because their crop is so poor this year.
Yeah.
But probably the cheapest fruit is currants.
Well, that's right. I mean, there is to some extent a sort of vine fruit nexus, and currants have been pretty much in the doldrums for a long time, probably as a result of people changing their recipes when the things got to, what is it, 2,000 euros or something?
Yeah.
So a lot of lost sales there, and I guess if you change your recipe, then it's pretty hard to recover that recipe, to put it back the way it was. Also with the political difficulties in Greece, and you perhaps don't want to rely on this as a source of cheap vine fruit. You can't change a recipe just for a couple of containers. So difficult now, because there's this backdrop. I was on the phone to our preferred supplier, and she was saying, well, I was asking her what happens if Greece is forced to leave, and she says it would have such a huge effect that actually it's incomprehensible, and that people cannot base the future on thinking what is the alternative to Greece staying in the euro. And if you think about being a farmer, you're going long at least a year, if not 3 or 4 years. If you're taking quite a lot of work on the vines, you're investing a lot of energy on the basis that people will still want to buy your product in a year's time. You know, you're planting and all this, or you're tending your vines. At some point, like in a war situation or whatever, then people don't do that. They just grab what they have and head somewhere better. So, and if you look at the production of currants, you know, we're talking maybe 35,000 tons now. Just a decade ago, that would have been closer to 80, 90,000 tons, and I've seen some records showing in the 1800s that 350,000 tons of currants used to go just into the UK. It was the sugar of the time. So, you know, the trend is downwards in production, and eventually there's very fine fruit. Actually, currants have a higher anthocyanin content than blueberries. Might make a comeback, and it may be a good time if you have currants in your
mixes.
Yeah, it'd be a good time to lock in, I think.
Good time to knock midget raisins on the head and buy
exactly
medium currants.
Yeah,
Which is why they were so popular.
a real thing. Buy them now.